Hey, this is Reid's Reviews. Today let's check out this KEELEY Tone Workstation. It's a KTW3. What we really have here is we have multiple KEELEY effects built into one pedal, and it's really powerful. We have a compressor, we have a drive and a boost, and then we have just kind of a lead drive here. Let me go over these different features. I'll play a little bit, and then I'll give you my final recommendation. First, we have the compression. Now, compression involves two different things. One is the sustain. So as you increase the sustain, the note will play longer. And really what it's doing is it's increasing the volume as the original signal volume decays. The blend here is blending the dry guitar with the compressor. One thing that's interesting about a compressor is that, if you're plucking it with your fingers, then some of the strings you might pick a little bit harder than others. And what the compressor tries to do is kind of even out the different sounds that come into it so that they're all kind of along the same level. And what I've noticed when I've played it is that probably because typically when I pick the higher notes, a little bit lighter, those with a compressor tend to come out more. One thing that the treble does is that if you want even more treble to come out of this, if you feel like the compressor's kind of taken some of the dynamic out of the tone that you're playing, you can change that there. This here, it's really 2-in-1. It's a drive, which is based upon the KEELEY 1962 overdrive, which is a British overdrive. And we also have the Katana boost, which is another KEELEY pedal. And you can select to have it on the 1962. If you do, the boost is included in that signal. When you flip it down to the Katana switch, you're taking out the 1962 and you're just getting a pure clean guitar. Over here we have the Red Dirt, which is again one of KEELEY's great pedals, and you can change it so that it's super powerful, or bring it down a notch with this Mod Plus. And we'll listen to it a little bit and to give you an idea of what that sounds like. All right, so currently I have it set on treble. I'm going to flip it down to the stock sound and play a little bit. And I'll turn it off so you can hear what it sounds like. And I'll flip the treble up with it on. So you can tell it really kind of fills out the sound when you have it on, and then clearly the treble is going to make it push it a little bit more on the trebly side. Now, it doesn't always make the signal maybe like the way you want it, so you don't always have to use the compressor, of course. Some people may not like to have the even out of the dynamics, but it's there for you if you need it. And the really cool thing too is the sustain. One other thing I need to tell you is that the blend starts off at 50-50, so it doesn't start off at 100% dry. It starts at 50 dry, 50 effect, and then as you move it over, it will go to 100% effect. Why don't we just listen to it at 100%? Now let's turn the sustain on and get an idea there. Yeah, it's interesting. So in the background, what they're doing is it's basically increasing the volume as the note begins to decay, which is kind of cool. You can still hear it. All right, so I'm going to turn that off. Let's move over to the drive and the boost. It's set on the 1962. Everything's at the 12 o'clock. And let's go ahead and play a little bit on this. What I like about it is that it's a subtle overdrive. It's not like way powerful, and you can make it a little bit more intense. Or you can turn it down quite a bit. And then the tone as usual, as you move the tone to the right, it's going to increase the treble in the signal. And as you move it to the left, it will decrease it. All right, so there we go. And again, the katana is actually being played in this. So the level creates that boost. If I move it down just to the katana, the drive will come out. These two knobs right here are not used when it's flipped down to the katana. Now let's flip the compressor on with it. All right, now let's give the red dirt a go. What I've noticed about this is that the mid-range is quite, it's well represented. A lot of times with certain overdrives, distortions, I'll hear, you know, either something really on the high end or the low end. This does a very good job of kind of filling out the mid-range. And obviously it's dirty. It's dirtier than the 1962 for sure. Now let's go ahead and crank that drive up. Still sounds pretty good. Click the tone up. Ooh, that brings in a lot of treble. It is a little bit buzzy, but it still sounds good. It's kind of fun to play. Let's turn that down. Let's turn the drive down. Still has some of that buzz in there, but obviously it's not as dirty. Let's turn the tone all the way down, the drive back up to mid. Sounds pretty good at 12 o'clock. All right, so now let's give the Mod Plus a try. We're moving down from baked. It's just a lot more tame, a lot less dirty. I really like the sound. What I noticed too is that when you move the drive up on this, it doesn't sound like you've lost control. Yeah, it's pretty mellow when if you move the drive all the way down. Let's move the drive up in the middle. Let's do the tone up. That's a nice sound, a little extra treble. Alright. Go with it down. So overall, I really like the Mod Plus version of this. It kind of controls a little bit, but it still sounds pretty groovy. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see what happens when we add the 1962 on top of the Mod Plus. To me it sounds a lot muddier, but good. Now let's go ahead with the compressor and see what that sounds like. I think the compressor really is more noticeable when you don't have the drive on. Looks like I have the sustain on all the way there, and the effect on all the way. Let's turn this to mid again. Now let's try the Katana on it. This is just a boost. Alright, so you can see there's a ton of stuff that you can do with this, but it's not too overwhelming, which is nice. It does keep the knobs and switches to a comprehensible amount, one that you can actually, work with and remember the old settings that you like, etc. In general, I think it is what it says. It's a tone workstation. If you really want to get your tone honed in to the sound that you want, this is a fantastic pedal. Now, the only thing is that you have to like these distortion sounds. It couldn't pack in every single distortion sound on the planet. What's kind of cool though is it does let you stack the two so that you can come up with some quite distinct sounds. But you need to like these distortion sounds, I think, really in order for this pedal to be useful for you. But in general, I would say it really hits a sweet spot. Do I recommend this? I would say yes. I'd recommend it for sure. It really can help somebody get to a tone that they may have not been able to get to otherwise. And it also includes some of the best Keeley pedals, the Katana, the Red Dirt, the 1962. So you're getting a lot with this one box. It's kind of small, it's not huge. It's got the 3 different foot switches. So yeah, definitely I'd recommend it. And then, it's really up to the person, right? Whether they love the distortion sounds and whether they love to play with a compressor. The compressor's cool and does give it a very kind of stable sound. If you're a guitar enthusiast and you love effects, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I think you'll really, really love the different pedals that I do reviews on. I do old and new, and you'll be the first to know about it. All right, so thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.